Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our November Content Lab group call. I keep on saying this every month. I cannot believe it is this month. So I just stopped short, but you knew what I was going to say. So we are now in the month of November, and this month it's all about like focusing on like who are the top two people. Like if I want to close clients this year, and I want to make sure that my message is very direct and that my target audience is going to say, yes, this person is speaking with me. Yes, this person has this product or this service that is perfect for me. And so this month it's about closing your top two clients on LinkedIn with clarity. And before we get into that, I just want to take a moment just to leave the floor open for everybody who is on the call right now. Let me know, like, how are things going on LinkedIn? And, no matter what, and I get it, sometimes life can be lifing, but yeah, just let me know how things are going, or this is a great time for you to ask some questions. And of course, there'll be a little bit later on the call, I'll be taking questions as well.
Well, I think for me, the fact just coming on to your classes is a good reminder and incentive. I am not following through as much as I did, let's say, in August. However, it is this morning I was looking at the five times five. I'm like, okay, so in my head, I'm trying to think who to connect with. So I think just being here together is very helpful for me.
Oh, great. I'm glad that it's being helpful. And I will get to the five to thrive for like that happens every single Wednesday. I'll get to it and explain it more, but I just decided like every once in a while, I know it's only been two, I'm just going to go in and tag people. So if you are being tagged, it's not because I don't think you're making connections. And if you haven't been tagged, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just like, I'm just going to tag this individual, or I haven't tagged this person last week, and it's just a reminder because sometimes it's just so nice to get that nudge. So I just wanted to let you know. Does anyone else have anything like to share with regards to a LinkedIn question, how things are going for them on LinkedIn? Did something happen on LinkedIn and they're like, how does this work?
I'll jump in. Hi, good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Dee.
Natasha.
Um, so it's interesting, right? Because I haven't, on no, honestly, I haven't posted a lot this month, or this month, or October. We're already like mid-November. I haven't posted a lot in October, but I did make a lot of connections because I've gone to a lot of events in October, whether speaking or being present at an event. So I've been really utilizing like I guess, what do you call it in LinkedIn, like the chats, DMs. I've been
Yes.
sending messages to a lot of people, which have been really, really great. So what I've also in the connections, I'm like, oh, by the way, my speaker calendar is open for 2026. So I've been doing that and I've made a lot of connections. So like in the next this week and next week, I have a lot of meetings to book for speaking for 2026. So even though I haven't been as active posting, what I've been doing is really like utilizing the direct connections that I've been making to fill up my speaker calendar for 2026. So that's been really good. Also at the events, I've been telling people I'm going to message you because one of my goals for the rest of the year is that I'm actually connecting and not just saying it.
Yeah.
Um, there was an event that I went to end of September, and one of the panelists who was from the States said that Canadians are great at saying, I'm going to connect with you, but don't actually follow through on it. So I've been thinking about that from like, the psychology side of things and then recognizing, a lot of us were worried about the fear. How are people going to respond? How am I going to sound and all that? So I've just been telling people that I've been meeting at these events, like, hey, I'm going to message you on LinkedIn. I would love to stay connected and actually follow through on that and then see where it leads. So I think that's been really, really good. And just like making those organic connections with people that, that's not lost, that's not dead. I think people want it more. making those connections. So that's been a really positive for me in the last month.
Thank you for sharing that. So I have questions, a couple of questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And with regards to what you said about Canadians don't always follow through, and maybe it's this thing that we have that we're so polite and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
are we going to be bothering someone? And I do
Mhm.
recall a while back a coach somebody who used to be my coach, she
Mhm.
did mention that especially during the pandemic, she was connecting and going to like a lot of online meetings. And she said to me that many people from the US or from the UK, they're on the calls, they're making connections. And she was really trying to like have me to show up to those because she says when you go to like going to those particular meetings online, those were the individuals who would tend to like follow through. So it's very much aligned with what you said. And then my question for you, because this is a learning time for me, I learned from everybody here. When you mentioned that you are connecting with people on a call and then you say that your calendar is open, are those individuals who are usually holding events or yeah, how is it that you like enter into that conversation?
Um, the entering into the just to clarify, entering into the conversation on LinkedIn or like when I'm meeting them in person or both?
Yeah, like when I guess when you're meeting with them and then you say, "Oh, here's my calendar for booking speaking
Yeah.
opportunities." So do you already know that they're the individuals? Like once you've gotten to know them that they usually have events or they know people who have events?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Because I've met them at other events, I'm kind of like, asked a little bit like, what do you do? What do you, those kind of things. And then because I'm on LinkedIn with them, kind of looking to see and just getting to know them a little bit. So I'm just like in one conversation, we're just like commenting how busy the season is, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's really busy. I just opened my speaker calendar for 2026. If you know of anybody, here's the links, those kind of things. So just kind of like looking at ways to like ease it into the conversation. Um, Another person that I've recently met was someone who was telling me that different departments didn't use up their wellness budget, for example. So she was like, it may not be that you go to directly HR, but go to those departments. So then I messaged that individual and I'm like, well, you mentioned the departments still have wellness budgets. I would love to continue this conversation, or if you know of the person that I should connect with directly.
Right.
Right. So been doing that and just like pushing myself to
Yeah,
do that
thank
more.
you. Thank you for sharing that and a good
Yeah.
reminder about looking for those individuals who are the actual decision makers. So I appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing that.
I think another thing is like, okay, if now to pull those into posts and things like that, right? Because I have, like I said, I've been to a lot of events. I have lots of pictures. I'm just looking for ways to, again, put in my calendar, be like, okay, I'm going to post all of these things that I've done over the last month, for example. Um, but I think my thing is I don't want to flood. It's like, I went to this event, then I went to this event, but I want to make it, I don't know,
Yeah.
newsworthy-ish, right? So any tips you can give on that would be appreciated.
Yeah, I do. So before I answer that, I want to mention that something that I've noticed, and I don't know if anyone here on this call has noticed it, I have noticed that people are starting to promote the events for 2026 now. So I've seen like
Mm,
Women's Day events, Women's
yes.
Month events, um, an event that's happening in May. I've seen it come up like either in an ad or in posts. And sometimes I see that on Instagram or because I'm on Instagram and I see it come up as an ad or it's somebody who I'm following already. So there is somebody who they have an event that's out in Burlington and oh, you know what? Somebody told me about this because I'm like, I wasn't following this account. So when I took a look, because I understand that they're looking for speakers, when I took a look at their social media, I saw that they were already promoting the event and it is happening in May. So I would say that one tip I would say to everybody before I answer your question, Natasha,
Mm,
is, be mindful about like who has events or maybe go to Eventbrite and see who is having events for 2026 and see where it is that you can fit in. And that means that the people who are organizing the events those would be great people to start connecting with and getting to know them and engaging them on other platforms. I noticed that these individuals, for instance, are quite active on Instagram, but I still went and I connected with them on LinkedIn as well, and I sent out an application. So there's a tip there. And then with regards to you putting out there that you can speak, this is something that I've been working on with my VA, is that once per week, we are going to have a post minimum once per week, maybe twice, but we've been doing once because I always have something different to promote, to share a post that I'm available for speaking. So the way that we've been doing this is that we have been looking at past testimonials that people have shared with me. So testimonial, for instance, could be quite lengthy. So what we've been doing is that we've been taking like compelling parts of the testimonial and then sharing that in a graphic. So if you go to my company page, you'll see it on LinkedIn. There's a you'll see testimonial posts where it's like a quotation mark, and we put the testimonial in there. And then, so quite a few of those are for like speaking opportunities. Or what my VA has done just to do something a little bit different is that she has pulled a picture of me speaking and then she's used like the testimonials. So she's gone through the various testimonials. And so, for instance, like maybe Lisa has a lengthy testimonial for Dee Boswell-Buck, and maybe Andrea has a lengthy testimonial. So if what we'll do is we'll just go back and forth between everybody who's had testimonials. So that say like in 5 weeks, if five people had a testimonial, it'll be one Andrea, one Lisa, one for the other person. And then we can go and we can go back again to Andrea, but pull out a different part. So those would be a testimonial post, and then it'll share, like in the caption, this is what I talk about, for instance. So then that way it's like guaranteed that we're making the effort to share a post that we speak and what some of our talks could be about. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you're welcome. Okay, well, I will go into it. As always, I do get on here early. I am practiced as usual, but let's see if it works out. Okay, I'm going to do my shared screen. Yes, I think it worked out. Okay, great. Now, so this month we are talking about, for the month of November, closing with clarity. So closing our clients with clarity. And we want to look into like what is that type of content that attracts and closes the right clients before the holidays. So you may have like different offers throughout the year. You may have those offers may serve like various people, but this month and for December, and this is something that's really great that's going to serve you well in January, is like who are the top two people? And therefore, when we are creating content, it's going to be directed to those individuals, and then we can get them onto our calendar. And the thing that's going to happen as well is that in January, when people are getting back on again after the holidays, they're going to remember you. Typically, what tends to happen is that what people tend to do is they kind of shut down in the last couple of months. Like, oh, everybody's very busy. People are checking out. And something that Natasha mentioned, for instance, is that there are companies, for instance, that have budgets, or there are people who are like, they have like some money left over in their budget, or they're thinking like, how is it that I can start my January strong? So there are people, the right people are watching and they're still working. And I'm not saying not to take time off. This could be a matter of creating content and then you're scheduling it in advance and then you're still showing up. Or like, for instance, for me, in December, I still am creating content. However, I might share like less content around Christmas, but I'm still sharing content like right before, a little bit after, and the content has been created ahead of time. So it's still going to be speaking to those right clients before the holidays. Now, I want to go over some announcements, and some of those announcements are with the theme. One of the things that we've introduced in Content Lab in at the end of August is a quarterly member spotlight. So the applications are now open. If you check your email, if you haven't received it, please let me know. But I sent out an email yesterday, and this is a member spotlight. So as you know, we have been doing Momentum Tuesdays where we invite a speaker. Well, this is a Momentum Day for our Content Lab, one Content Lab member. Now, the reason why it's not going to be on a Tuesday is because the Tuesday, I believe, is December 30th. And I do know that individuals may be off, and I want to ensure that our members, like everyone, has that opportunity to apply. And also, I don't want to get in their way of any time off. So we have bumped it up to the December, the Thursday, that second Thursday in December. And side notes, like stay tuned, like there will be some, I think I will be doing a poll that will be for before December, just to see how everybody feels for like our second day to connect. However, the group will still have the same amount of content going through. There will still be like challenges to do, but the challenges will be like not as, will be a little bit light, so you can just still enjoy the holidays if you celebrate the holidays or take time off. I do think like most people would be taking time off because stores are not open and a lot of things are not open. So it's like kind of forced at least. But that's what's going to be happening for December. So it's going to be a momentum spotlight. I sent out an email last night. I did do a summary of like how to apply and the rules with regards to applying. But basically, one Content Lab member will be selected to present as our guest expert on December 11th, which is a Thursday at 10 a.m., and it will be a Momentum Thursday. So take a look. You'll see the skip there of somebody like reading speaker notes, and you'll see that information there. But like I said, I did email, and you will see the link to apply. This month, we've introduced Five to Thrive Wednesday. So this is where I mentioned before hitting record that I have been like tagging individuals, just tagging. There's no rhyme or reason, just random, just that reminder. Because often, like we are on LinkedIn, and often people forget that it is a networking platform. And sometimes it might be like, oh, I feel a little bit shy about doing it, or I'll do it later. So on the Wednesdays, you will see a post reminding you that it's Five to Thrive Wednesdays. It's your weekly reminder to send out 5 connection requests to your future clients or collaborators. So if you do 5 on Wednesdays, and by the way, you can do them on other days as well, but you'll also do them on Wednesdays. That will definitely get you to 20 every single month. So if you are using the free version of LinkedIn, that should fit you just fine. And also, something that I want to mention that I did mention on the call a month ago during our Thursday group call is that if you have linked the free version of LinkedIn and you've never used LinkedIn Premium before, well, LinkedIn allows for individuals, if you haven't used LinkedIn Premium before, to have it for free. So this would be a great opportunity to sign up for LinkedIn for free. And because we're really looking at closing those right types of clients, and we're going to go through like the different ways that you can do that, you can use the free LinkedIn this month and then just go at it and connect to as many people who fit into that client avatar. If you have used the free LinkedIn before, then most likely, like sometimes LinkedIn will share that you can get a discount on it, or you will have to pay for it. So there's LinkedIn Premium, and then there's a version of LinkedIn that is below LinkedIn Premium that costs less, but it does increase the amount of people that you can connect to. So if it's in your budget, and so LinkedIn Premium might be 70 something dollars. And then the one below that might be half of that cost. So if you are spending to usually spend to go to a networking event, that's about that amount of money or less, then this could be your opportunity to use that as your networking budget. And then you can pay for that LinkedIn. And if it's the LinkedIn free, then you just want to put it on your calendar that you want to ensure that your credit card is off so that you can take that off, or you can downgrade to the lower level or go back again. But this is just your opportunity to connect more with people. Now, going back to the topic, content that attracts and closes the right clients before the holidays. So we are having a LinkedIn workshop, close clients before the holidays. That's going to be in person. However, a lot of what's being shared at that workshop will be shared into the group. So I'm going to share some of the things that we spoke about. We had a pre-call. We had a 1 hour pre-workshop call on Tuesday, and everybody who's attending the workshop so far, they received everything at once, but they have plenty of time to go through it. The workshop is for Content Lab members, so therefore, everybody in Content Lab will be receiving it. But because those who are going to the group, who are going to the workshop, they received everything at once. I also want to be mindful about how much content is going through Content Lab so that everybody is able to keep up. So here's one of the things that we talked about in the in the pre-call, and it was also shared last week. So choosing your top two ideal clients. This was shared last week. So what is the role that they are in or the industry? What are the pain points? So listing out like 3 pain points that they are going through or problems that need to be solved. What are the daily situations that they tend to experience? Like, are they juggling a lot? Do they don't have enough people on their team? What are the things that they are going through? And so I would say, like, go through that line and you're going to write down the situations. I don't have a number on that. You can just go at it. And this is what I shared that you can do in a notebook. However, what I did since then was I did create a document that's fillable. So I will, when this goes up a little bit later, this replay, I'm going to share the link to the documents, and that's where you're going to see everything. But we can just deal with what we're going through here. What is it that they think they need? So sometimes people are like, oh, I really need, I'm going to use my mom as an example. So my mom is an active senior. She's 80 years old. And I'm always saying to her, Mom, hire somebody to shovel your walk. And I'm so blessed that she's in great shape and she can do this on her own. And 1 year I was successful in getting her to do this. So for her, she would just think, okay, my daughter is bugging me to get somebody to shovel the walk. However, what she really needs is she needs somebody to shovel that walk, but she also needs somebody who is going to salt. She needs somebody who, like there's companies that have a whole list of like rules and regulations that need to happen before they shovel the walk. You need to have at least 5 centimeters of snow. The snow needs to have stayed on the ground for at least 10 hours. You need to have this, you need to have that. So she needs somebody like when the snow comes that it doesn't stay on the sidewalk for 5 hours. So she needs somebody who has like more care. So like going like above and beyond, what is it that they think they need? But then the next line is, what do they actually need? That it's what it is that you provide. So you can help them with the shoveling of the snow, but perhaps you could also help them with other things. You can also like say to my mom, for instance, you could say, well, you know what? We're happy to go in. One of the things that we do is we also check the sides. Or another thing that we do is we ensure that the sewage, because usually at the end of the driveways, there's like sewers where that'll catch all the water that's melting. We're going to ensure that that is cleared up as well. So what are the other things that they need? And then for her, like they could also say to her, by the way, it's coming into March. We know that you've got a garden. We can do things like ensuring that weeds are taken care of ahead of time. So, what is it that they actually need that you provide? And then, last but not least, when they are looking for what it is that you provide, what are the keywords that they're going to key into a search engine? So those keywords are like maybe I need like looking for somebody who takes care of snow in the winter. Or perhaps you have you're a runner, like I can be a runner sometimes. And what are those keywords that I'm looking for because my feet are hurting, or I need care for my feet. Those are like maybe terrible examples, but what are the keywords? One of the things that I like to make a recommendation is that when you are playing around with these keywords, if you put them into Google, Google will do a drop down, and that drop down, those will be other popular keywords that people are looking for. And then you can use those keywords in your content because as you are creating content, people might be keying that in. It's going to help you come up as well. And then also when you are using those keywords in your content, when people are reading that post by you, when people are reading that newsletter by you, they're going to say, "Oh my goodness, Krista is speaking to me. Like that's exactly what I'm going through." So this is why we want to use those keywords. So next, identify the aligned offer. So we're going to be talking to these two individuals. And I know like sometimes within that group of two, there's others. So it could be either the two individuals or the group, right? So the ideal client, and then what is that offer and service that you have that would be good for these individuals? Now, I want to say this offer and service or product that you are providing, let it be something that you love doing, okay? And also let it be something that's going to like really move the needle in your business. So, for me, I do have like 5 offers. For me, I am looking at having more people join Content Lab or for more people to sign up for the accelerator. So my posts lately have been speaking with a call to action there. So what's that aligned offer so that when those people that you are speaking to, when they book a call, then when you talk to them about this aligned offer, they're going to say, "Wow, Natasha, that aligned offer that really works out for me." So look at what that aligned, and then just think about so this here says newsletter. We are going to be focusing on LinkedIn newsletters, even though that does not stop us from creating more content in the form of posts or carousels. But your angle, your newsletter angle, or your angle in terms of your content, so just think it's like this offer is for this described audience who goes through this pain point or has this desire, and I'm going to show them how to. So what is that result and that outcome or that transformation that you are going to give to them? So this here was shared in the group as well. And when I share out the link to this document that is going to be fillable, you'll be able to work through it. So here are a couple of sentences at the bottom. Like, this is for women consultants ready to raise their rates and attract clients who respect their time. So this is what you can do with that offer. Or the next one in the last part of the column, for people first leaders who are tired of your team running on empty. I'm going to share ways to build engagement without burnout. So as I mentioned, we are going to be focusing on LinkedIn newsletter. So if you do not have a LinkedIn newsletter, this will meet you where you're at. If you have done LinkedIn newsletters before, this will meet you where you're at. Now, why I'm saying that, like for instance, I've been doing LinkedIn newsletters for this year. And for instance, well, actually more than a year. Previously, my LinkedIn newsletter, the theme of the newsletter or the name of the series, and the way I talk about like theme or series is you might watch a TV show. And this TV show, based on the title, you know what it's about. Hmm. Let me give an example. Oh, I gave this example on the call on Tuesday. Dancing with the Stars. We know Dancing with the Stars is about dancing, and it's always about celebrities who are on the show who are trying to win the mirror ball. Obviously, I'm a fan. So we know that that's what it's all about, but every single week, we know that they're going to vote somebody out, and every single week there is going to be a new theme. The other night it was Halloween. Another night it was a Disney theme. Another night it was musicals, for instance. So it's always going to be based on a specific type of theme, and they're going to vote people out. So the theme is, or the series is called Dancing with the Stars. And then as we start creating LinkedIn newsletters, you're always going to have like a different topic, but it's going to align with the name of the show or the name of your newsletter. So before, my LinkedIn newsletter was called Visibility. Nope. The name of my LinkedIn newsletter was called Digital Coffee with Dee. So if you go to my LinkedIn newsletters, and how you would do that is that you go to my LinkedIn profile, you scroll halfway down, and then where you see the area called activity, there are tabs: post, comments, documents, maybe events. There'll also be a tab there called newsletters. Now you'll see my recent newsletters. There's like a profile picture for each newsletter, and it says visibility playbook. But if you are going to scroll back into the summer and backwards, you're going to see that it is called. Actually, the profile picture will be different, but you'll see my banner. So my banners will say Digital Coffee with D, and there's a little picture of a coffee mug there. But now my recent newsletters are called Visibility Playbook. So that's a case of where I say that LinkedIn newsletters, they meet you where you're at, even if you've shared before. At the end of the summer, I decided I wanted to speak specifically about LinkedIn only. Before, I would talk about different versions of like your online presence, and I may do that from time to time, but I wanted everyone to know that this is called the Visibility Playbook. So you read this, you're going to get something out of it, and you can add this to your playbook. And it tends to be about LinkedIn. So that's the name of the show. And then every single week, I have a different topic that helps you to become more visible on LinkedIn. So we're going to be focusing on LinkedIn, and here is where we have this slide here. I'll go through it quickly, but it's also in the fillable documents that I'll be sending to you. It's a little bit slow, but it's a little bit small, but basically it tells the difference between sharing a regular post on LinkedIn, and no posts are regular on LinkedIn, by the way, but this just stands out a little bit more from your post on LinkedIn. So your regular post, that it lives briefly in your feed. It fades after 2 to 3 days. Actually, that I should edit out because there are posts that I see 2 weeks later on LinkedIn, even 3 weeks. I get very excited when I see some of these posts because I'm like, wow, I would love to go to this networking event, only to find out that the post was shared a couple of weeks prior. So I will make that edit because that's a great thing with regards to LinkedIn, is that your posts do stay on longer. Um, most likely, like only your most active followers, they will see it. You can't, like in terms of subscribers, you don't get subscribers to your posts. It's usually your short form content, so about 1,000, maybe. I always say characters, but maybe 1,500 characters, or 180 to 200 words. Um, it's like the posting, it happens like daily or so. And then there's always like a general point as well. It's in terms of your relationships with people, like people who are one-offs who can see it. There's like it's still very beneficial to post on LinkedIn, and then there is like really good shareability. Now, the LinkedIn newsletter is that if somebody subscribes to your LinkedIn newsletter, then based on their settings that they have on LinkedIn, they can get a notification in their general inbox, not the LinkedIn DMs, but their general email that you shared a LinkedIn newsletter. It lives on your profile. So, like I said, when you scroll through, you'll see it halfway on my profile. You can get some subscribers on LinkedIn. So, I'm going to speak about that later on in the month. And also during the workshop, I'll speak at the workshop about how you can leverage those subscribers. I did miss the fact that it also shows up on Google. So when you're using the right keywords and you can add search engine optimization on the back end of it, when somebody is taking a look for what it is that you do, or they're looking for a pain point or a problem to be solved, your LinkedIn newsletter can show up early on. And the LinkedIn newsletters now are also showing up, for instance, on Google. I'll use that as an example. They're showing up on Google in the AI section, which we're starting to see that when you're looking something up, AI mode shows up first, and then other pieces of content show up after that. It's your ability to do long form storytelling. So what's great about that is that you are able to, in that long form storytelling, speak about the topic, and then it's like who this is for. Then you can share a bit of empathy, like, I totally understand why people don't take care of this. It's often because they are too busy, they've got too much going on. And then within that storytelling, you're sharing the tips and how it is that they can overcome. And then within that storytelling, you can share how it is that they can reach out to you. So that's how that long form storytelling is. It's very thought leadership, and it gives people the opportunity. Like when people see that, they know within the newsletter, they know that it's going to be a longer read and they're ready for that. If you have that type of content in your regular posts, LinkedIn is going to stop the character count as well. When it shows up in a regular post, people are going to scan through and they're going to like just go by it. Um, you can have this weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So you can like turn on that, sharing that you're going to be doing that monthly, weekly. I do want to say that it doesn't like automate for you. You are still going to have to write that content so that it is showing up bi-weekly. You can see the really exciting like analytics behind it. You can see that how many people it's reached, and it's always changing. How many people did it reach? How many people actually opened it? Like those are some exciting analytics there. And then with your subscribers, you can like leverage those subscribers and connect with them. So what I love about the LinkedIn newsletters is that it really expands my reach on LinkedIn. I've seen it where people who are second connections being that they are connected to somebody I'm already connected to. So I'm like, ooh, that person has subscribed to my newsletter. So I think that they're most likely going to accept my connection request. They might be my ideal client, my ideal collaborator. And now I can like bridge that gap there. I can even say after they've accepted the connection request, I can say, let me think of a Rosemary. Rosemary, thank you so much for accepting my connection request. And by the way, I saw that you subscribed to my newsletter. I just want to thank you. And you know what? As a thank you, I have this free resource, and you could send them this free resource. You can maybe send that resource to them like a week later. And what I have been doing is that I let them know that I just want to let you know, like, here's what's the best email to send this to. And are you okay if I add you to my email list? I never spam, and I always share like easy, doable tips. I've never had anyone say no. It could happen, but if that does happen, well, at least they've got this free resource from you, and they could possibly circle back, and they've already subscribed to your newsletter. Also, I've also seen that people who are third connection requests have subscribed to my newsletter. That means we're not connected as well. We're not connected already. Now, I usually don't like to send a connection request to people who are our third connection request, which means there's nobody in the middle there to connect us. But now that they have subscribed to my newsletter, I can see if they're my ideal clients or a great resource, like a great collaborator. And because of that, I can send them a connection request. I have found that when it's a third connection, they don't usually accept. But now that they subscribed, they accept. So rounding to the end, those are the shares that I have shared into the group so far. Let me just go back here. This one here, describe your ideal client, that was shared in the group last week. Tomorrow, or you know what, I'll share it today. I will be sharing this prompt as well. And I will be sharing like the entire fillable document along with the replay a little bit later. So, like I said, we are having a workshop next week, Wednesday. However, the only thing that won't be happening in the group is like where we take that workshop a little bit further with regards to how it is that you can use this content like past LinkedIn, but everything else will definitely be in the group, but it will be dripped out because I want to be mindful of everybody's time. So there was a prep call that happened on Tuesday. Everybody will have access to that because it's going to also help you work through that fillable document. So throughout the month, look out for more prompts, look out for more downloads and this walkthrough video as well. And you should be getting like everything else in order for you to create your first LinkedIn newsletter way in advance before the end of the month so that you'll be able to like ask your questions within the group. So that is what I have here. That's it for my shares. I'm going to like leave this here and go back to the top. But I see that there were some questions that were asked. I'm going to go there first and then I will see what else is there. Let's see. Oh, great, Natasha, you signed up for LinkedIn for the free LinkedIn. So good for you. Thank you. So I'll leave it now. Does anybody have any questions? And Natasha, I think you had a question that at the end of the call about like sharing to other profiles. I'm happy to like touch on it now if you like. But I'll let you go first. And if anybody else, if you want to ask that question, I think you were talking about because you share on Substack, and I don't know if I answered it
Yes.
already.
Yes. I know it was something that you said we can touch base next week, and I know you and I had spoken about it as well, right? You gave me some information. So I'm just wondering because, well, one, because I bought the free one and because I've been really active in the DMs of LinkedIn this month, I want to be able to capitalize on that and especially on the new followers that I do have or new connections that I have on LinkedIn, right? Especially over the last month. So I do want to do the newsletter. I think on my side, it's more thinking like, okay, so I have the LinkedIn newsletter, I have my email newsletter that goes out. I've been trying to build up my Substack because ultimately the goal has been for Substack that I do want to have like a paid subscription community there. So I'm just thinking like, how am I doing all of this? And then sometimes I post on my blog on my website as well. So it ends up being a lot of places, which then pose a lot of resource for myself and time resource. And I also don't want to make it where it's not like the same thing just getting reposted in like five different places.
Yeah. So, your LinkedIn newsletter, or maybe you're working, like when I say working backwards, like one of my clients, we're taking her blogs, which we know are definitely good for her ideal clients, and then we're making those into LinkedIn newsletters. So, any type of content that you are going to share across Substack, LinkedIn, your blog, and it's directed to those ideal clients and answering those questions. You just want to be aware that you want to like make some edits to them so that Google does not like grab the same information from your blog and also grab the same information from LinkedIn as well. And also people like who are on Substack, whether they're signed up to pay for it or whether it's free, they want to feel like they're getting something different as well. So this is where maybe the Substack, those who are on Substack, they're getting something that's more in depth. Or perhaps you're using the same newsletter and you're making edits to the newsletter because Google is reading the words. So you're making edits to it, but perhaps on Substack, you're embedding a video that gives
Mm.
like a little bit more information so that that person gets more. So you can take a look at maybe Substack is going to have more words than the one on your blog. On LinkedIn, maybe it's that same piece of content, but because you built your connections with specific people and specific titles, you make some tweaks on it, and you're putting in like their titles. Like I know that people who are usually vice presidents of these types of organizations go through this. So that's how you're making it so that the individuals who are on LinkedIn, even though it can be grabbed anywhere on Google, when they read it, they see it's for them. So that way, Google is like not getting confused. And also, when somebody is like keying in on the search, um, your newsletter is going to get pulled up because it's going to be like the like linked to their keywords. So the good thing about these long form content is that you can make edits, you can work smart, and then you can curate it for the individual platforms that you're on. So then it's like less time. You're not like starting, oh, I did this post, I did this LinkedIn newsletter, and now I have to write it from scratch. So writing it, changing that up, it could be that, and you're using AI to help you with that. You could say with AI, like, you know what, I'm using this. I'd like to update this for Substack. Usually the people who are following me on Substack, the people who I want to draw in are these types of individuals. How can I do it like this? And by the way, I'm going to be putting in a video in the middle of it. I'm going to be embedding it. Like I just put all of that in there. That's going to be speaking about this. So, AI is going to be like, that's really smart, Natasha. And it's going to like share some more information. And as I always say, like always make sure that we're like reading through.
Yes, because it hallucinates.
Maybe it's throwing too many emojis in there sometimes like I think my voice is sassy, and then when I say to AI like make it sassy, I've read it through and I literally said to you know what, that's too mean, and like scale it back. So but those are different ways that you can like update and
Okay.
also be mindful of your time too.
Okay, thanks. No, that's actually that's helpful. I will do that. And I think for Substack, what I started doing, and I think you saw this like audio clips of me actually reading it, so they get a little bit more like the person behind it. So that's been good. And I also want to say this for everyone: we don't know who's watching our stuff, right? Because I have I have a good sizable people on my newsletter list, about 1,000, and someone like have quite a bit of engagement where people will send like reply back and everything. But then someone did contact me from an online magazine. It was like, oh, I've been following you. Can you write for my online magazine as well? Right. So like putting this stuff out there, it does help. It just we don't know who's watching it, right? So
That is so true. I went to a networking event the other day. We all had to crack open our laptops. And I sat with somebody, and she said, so I saw your newsletter that came through in August, and I still had the window open. I'm like, "Oh, well, that's so nice, really?" And then she showed me her computer and there was a tab open. So you just never know. Yes, I know I could have like gone through I don't go through everything to see who has opened it, but it was like, yeah, like that person, it actually resonated with her. And then she asked me the question. So thank you for sharing that.
yeah, no, thank you.
As we think of more questions, one of the things I want to mention, so I know you mentioned audio, Natasha. So I did see, like, I'm following somebody from the US. I really like her content. And actually, I don't know how she does it. I'm not interested in doing it, but she has multiple newsletters. So she has like, i.e., like the Visibility Playbook, Digital Coffee. Like she has various newsletters for different people. I did see with her, one of her newsletters, it was so she has subscribers, but in one of her newsletters, it's all audio, like it's or all video, I should say. So video. And the thing is that I was like, okay, that's really smart. The thing is that Google wouldn't pick it up, right? Because all the words are missing. So if we're going to be like embedding audio or embedding a video, like I do see some people just putting in the video, but then Google won't pick it up. So I just wanted to share that tip.
Okay, now that I have a question on that. So Google is only able to then
Google
read
or Bing or sorry, I shouldn't just say
whatever, yeah, search engine
yes.
is only reading the word content. It's not reading the video content, is that it?
It's not, no, it's only picking up the actual text. Please, everybody, like let me know if I'm incorrect, but I'm pretty sure it's only picking up the text because it's not able to unless you have a video, and then what you do is you take the transcript from the video and then you put it underneath. So I do see people do that. For me, like whenever I see that, it looks like very long. So maybe like summarize that because I think I see people put it on their website, the video, then there's a transcript and it says 10:01, like this sentence was said, 10:005. And I look at that and I'm like, oh, I can't read that and I'm out. But yes, then it'll pick up the words.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome. So today, like I mentioned, this email has been sent out to everybody with regards to looking for a speaker. I know that we have a couple of people who came on a little bit late. We'll just look out. There will be a poll by the end of the month, just talking about like when are we going to like have some dates to have our regular calls in December because for instance, one of the calls happens on the fourth Tuesday, and I know that a lot of people are off. So we're going to be just having a bit of a poll there. And, but yeah, if anybody is on the call and they're interested in being the speaker for, it's not going to be Momentum Tuesday, it'll be a Momentum Thursday, December 11th. And there is some criteria there. For instance, did you share, what are the number of posts that you shared on LinkedIn? But take a look. So if you're showing up, like if you've been sharing, just do a count there. And also anybody who applies to be that, so there'll be a draw. And I'll make sure I share that it was fair and square how the name was chosen out of the people who have applied to be a speaker. And you will get access to the video. So the videos that I have on for our calls are always on YouTube. They're unlisted, so they're only accessible by people in Content Lab. However, this video, for whoever the speaker is, it will be public on YouTube, so on my YouTube. So then that way, the person who is doing the talk, they will be able to embed it onto their, they'll be able to embed it on their website. They'll be able to, like, if they're looking to book talks elsewhere, they'll be able to share that. So that's what we'll be doing with that. I only go silent because not that I've ran out of anything to say, but just leaving the floor open. You're welcome, Felicia. Great to see you. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up, but it's going to be a bit more active because we are closing those clients this month and in December. And whenever I'm making these posts, I'm kind of like, yes, this is what we're going to do. And, what can we do that's something that's easy, but gets everybody to like engage so we can close those clients. But yeah, so it'll be more active. So to ensure that you are not missing anything, you can go to the group. At the top of the group, you'll see the bells those are the notification bells. You can click on that, and then I believe that it'll be a drop down. There'll be one bell. You'll click on the two bells, and then that way, every time you open up your LinkedIn account, you will see in the notifications that there was a post. Yeah. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Thank you, Susanna. Great to see you. Thank you, Anya. I'll see you later. Bye, Natasha. Bye, Krista. Bye, Laura Jean. Take care, everybody.